Today I'm going to go through a few things you probably want to know when it comes to understanding finance, financials, when you're trying to buy a business, grow a business, or doing a roll-up. If you don't know me, my name is Moran Pober. I'm the founder and CEO of acquisitions.com. We're the largest community of M&A investors, entrepreneurs, and people who want to do roll-ups. And in the last 3 years, we're involved in 100 plus transactions. And right now, we're also looking to invest with people in their acquisitions and roll-ups with our fund. So let's talk about financials when it comes to buying a business, growing a business, starting a business. First of all, do you even know what statements you need to look at, right? Are you familiar with like P&L, profit and loss statement, or some call it an income statement, or a balance sheet? Do you know what's on each and every one of them? Do you know why you need to look at each and every one of them? Are you even looking at each and every one of them if you're looking to buy the business or you have an existing business, right? How long are you looking at them? Are you checking them every day, every week, every month, every year, every 3 years, every decade? Right? And if you're not checking them enough, why are you not doing that? Why you are doing that? Do you know what you're looking for when you're looking at the financial statement? Those are some of the things I probably want to continue to explore in this video. Here's the thing, your business will be in trouble if you're not checking those things. If you're not checking your financial statements and you're counting on your accountant to just go through everything, then it's going to be a mess. And again, this is for a business you're looking to buy or existing business that you have. And also you need to think how that is tied to your forecast and budget. Like, do you know how to align or how you're planning to align employees towards a budget, towards a forecast to make sure that you are not being kicked in the butt for not knowing your numbers and not knowing what kind of margins you have and what kind of profits you have and what your cash flow in order to incentivize your team, your executives to grow the business and give them bonuses and incentives based on KPIs that they're achieving without hurting yourself and your bottom line profits. I've been making stupid mistakes in the past and that's how I learned. And I want to make sure that you're not making those mistakes, because if you're only checking your financial statements once a year or once every now and then when you need to pay your taxes or whatnot, it's a big mistake. How are you even planning to scale? How do you know how to scale? How do you know you're meeting your forecast and budget? Or do you even have a forecast and budget? How are you knowing that you're even making progress that makes sense? Because you reinvesting things back, you might say, hey, I'm reinvesting things back, I'm going to grow over time, but maybe you're not keeping your margins the same way, right? You really need to pay attention to those small nuances when you're growing or when you're looking for businesses to buy and understanding what they're doing that can be improved or not. And a lot of people just hire, an accountant or a CFO to handle those things. But then here's the thing, no one will care about your business as much as you, and the business is a reflection of you. And if you don't know at least the basics of what that looks like and the fundamentals of what that role would look like, you can get yourself in a mess, like a receivable mess. So for example, a lot of business owners think, hey, I'm making great revenues or great profits, but what about your receivables? Are your clients actually paying you? Because if your clients are not paying you, then I don't care what your P&L looks like, you might hurt yourself. Right? Those simple things that for some of you might sound like, okay, of course I'm doing that. For others, you might say, what is even accounts receivables? What is even a balance sheet? So I don't care where you at that graph, you gotta ask yourself, are you doing enough? Are you keeping your team accountable? Are you keeping yourself accountable to check your numbers as much as possible? Also, for example, in each of those things, what's your processes when it comes to fixing those mistakes? So like I said, just a simple example with those receivables. If you have a problem collecting, who's collecting to you with your receivables? Or for the business you're looking to buy, who's collecting the money when clients are paying or supposed to pay, right? And that will open you an opportunity for what can you fix in a business you're looking to buy or what you immediately need to fix in your existing business. So for example, if you have an accountant that's trying to collect accounts receivables, accountants are not the best people when it comes to, chasing clients for payments. Probably a better job for like a salesperson or someone who can be a salesperson. And so small nuances like that could really change the way that you, bring in cash flow and profits to your business. And here's the thing, people make a lot of mistakes because they're not paying attention. They're not accountable. They don't know what they need to do. They don't have the steps of what they need to do. They're not committed enough, right? So you ask yourself, are you any of those things? And by the way, if you like this video so far, like, comment below. Let me know in the bottom below. We're going to do giveaways for Amazon gift cards and whatnot. Let me know below what kind of challenges you had when it comes to understanding financials in a business, or what kind of problems in general you had or think you might have in a business you're looking to buy. When I'm looking at a business, especially if it's a business I own, I want to see everyday cash. I want to see what's up. I want to see cash in versus cash out. And I want to see how it's connected to the budget, to last month, to the same month last year, to my best month, to my worst month. And I want to see, is this helping me moving towards the budget and forecast that I have. And if I don't, then I need to ask myself what kind of changes and what kind of actions I need to take in order to make sure that I'm changing things. Because if I'm not following the forecast, not following the budget, I'm not expecting that. I'm not accepting that. And as a business that wants to grow, you need to constantly chase and push, demand from your people the best. Maybe if you're a private small company, you don't care about it. But if you really want to have big dreams, big goals, let's say you want to have a public company, guess what? If you're losing, if you have a forecast, it comes a day when you have your, you send in everyone and you're distributing the results of last month or last quarter and the results are not as good as the forecast that you had. Guess what? The market is not going to like that. They're going to really hurt you and your share, your price, the price of your company. So you need to ask yourself, what are you doing to practice that right now from the moment that you're a small company? Because that's what it starts. It starts here from when you're small and no one knows about you. That's how you become big, that people will know about you by basically doing the best thing, the right things right now. So when you're big and better, you just maintain the habit. So what are you doing to make sure that you have a forecast, you have a budget, so you know who to hire, who to fire, how to incentivize each of your employees with specific KPIs. Also, what is your revenue per employee, revenue per head for full-time employee? What is your profit per employee, right? The best companies in the world have a big revenue per employee. Like you see with companies like Google, they have $1 million+ revenue per employee. Most companies that are not profitable, like if you have revenues per employee that is below 100,000 or 50,000, you're probably not making money. And I know people who have $100 million+ businesses in revenues, but in reality, they're not really making any profit and they're not taking home a lot of money other than a salary they pay themselves. So then the question is it worth being so big if you're not profitable? And the way to keep yourself profitable is to make sure that you're demanding enough revenues per employee. Otherwise, why you even hire them in the first place? Also, another problem I see with people when it comes to understanding financials is that they are not willing to invest in themselves. Here's the thing. If your goal is to have a 10 million business or 20 million business or 100 million business, right? So let's keep them, just to keep the numbers simple. If you want to have a $25 million business and you're not willing to invest 20 million, guess what? You're never going to get to 25 million. If you don't understand that conceptually, you won't get there. Because to be a $25 million business, again, depends on the sector, but most businesses, if you're making 25 million revenues, guess what? You're probably spending around 20 million. If you're not willing to spend that amount towards growth, you will never get there. And I see that so many times. People are just afraid. They're just stuck where they at because they're afraid to become a different version of themselves. They're just happy with where they are, with their comfort zone, without understanding that in order to be where they want to be, they need to start to act like that person. So if you want to be a business owner that's making 20, 30, 50, $100 million a year, guess what? You'll need to invest a lot of money when you own that business. A business constantly needs to reinvest back towards growth, while of course maintaining enough profitability, hopefully with the same margin that you have as you're a small company, with making sure that you're accountable, you're aware, you're seeing what's up, you're keeping your team accountable, you incentivize your team, and when you push them enough and you push yourself enough, that's how the business can grow. Reinvest back, it's hiring more people, it's building better system, better processes, and that's how a business grows to 100, 200 million. And we've seen that right now, up to 200 million revenues. I'm talking businesses that were built by acquisitions to $200 million in revenues in less than a year, by following those processes and systems and making sure that they're accountable to each step and each part of the growth. Otherwise, you'll be screwed. You'll need to take a step back, basically, because you'll hit a break point. The business will break. You'll need to fire a lot of people and you'll just left with nothing, or you'll need to rebuild again and basically making the same mistakes until you realize that in order for you to hit or skip those breakpoints, you gotta stay accountable and you really gotta stay commitment to your margins as you grow. So it's really all about consistency, commitment, accountability, and just awareness of what it's like to grow fast while keeping those numbers and margins. I could probably continue to talk about it forever, right? But to summarize that, guys, look at your numbers constantly. Look at your cash, have a forecast, have a budget, have a goal. Realize that if you're taking money out of the business and paying a lot of taxes for it to buy yourself, a boat or a car, you won't be able to grow the business. And if you want to have a 20, 30, 50, $100 million business, you'll need to reinvest back into the business towards growth. So you can't have both at the same time from the beginning. Eventually, when you're a bigger company, cool, no worries, you'll have enough money to pay yourself dividends and whatnot. But when you're in the growth phase, you got to reinvest everything back into yourself and into the company. And you gotta start to think like the person you want to be, make investment decisions like that person, take actions like that person, because only then you could become that person. So hopefully guys, you got some value from this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you didn't yet. Let me know in the comments below what you think, if you have questions or what else you want me to talk about, and I'll see you soon.